Welcome to Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. We have an amazing episode, and we have a guest tonight. Hopefully your Thanksgiving weekend went well if you celebrate. Tonight we are going to be talking about, we got kind of a hodgepodge tonight. We're going to talk a little bit about what decks we think are going to be at PQ starting next week, kind of what you should be watching out for, what we've seen already, and then talk a little bit about maybe some underrated leaders that we haven't seen that we're kind of hoping will make a splash in the meta before rotation. We're also going to be talking a little bit about some underrated or underutilized cards that we felt were worthy of giving a shout out to, again, before rotation, because that's what's going to probably happen. Once rotation happens, we get to lose all sorts of cards. And if that's not fun enough, we have some cool one-off like fun decks that we built. Things if you want to take something to your locals and not just absolutely dominate by bringing on one every single time, and bring something that's a little bit less competitive that will be fun to play. We got a couple of lists for you. With that being said, let me bring in my co-host for tonight. Please welcome to the show the bench warmer himself, Alex. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm okay. Week 3 of our sealed league, it was a little bit rough, but having fun playing the game and playing some cool decks.
Yeah, in the Discord, I get a notification every day that league is going on every single day, and I don't understand why.
I didn't make that event, but I can yell at the guy who did.
Yeah, tell him to fix the event. But yeah, that's good. Actually, we're talking about doing a sealed league either for next set or starting in January. That's kind of similar to what you guys are doing.
It's so fun.
I'm to the point where maybe this will be another topic. There'll be a topic for another show, but I'm at the point where how do I bring more locals in? And I think the answer is we got to stop playing ultra competitive decks all the time and kind of go back to like, let's play something for fun. And then so that way it's not always the same set of people crushing everything. And we could actually play something fun. Like my nephew, for example, brought an Anakin deck, not the Anakin you're thinking of, the Anakin from set 6. And, in theory, the deck works in theory, but yeah, if you keep him off the force, his deck can literally do absolutely nothing, like nothing. So, but it would be a lot more fun if we had, like, if I had a deck that wasn't like super meta and could bring it in. I brought Deidre Blue this week, so that's technically not meta yet.
It's still mean.
It's still mean. Yeah, there was a guy that was like, yeah, I don't know if I want to play against that deck. I might just take off early. I was like, nah, you'll have fun. And he's playing Snoke Yellow, and he has been playing Snoke Yellow like since Snoke came out. Like he got a Snoke showcase. And so he loves Snoke. And the deck, I will be honest, the deck is really good. Like it's not probably a meta changer, but like if when things rotate, it actually has a potential to be decent. But like if you're playing against like non-super meta decks, it actually can win. He got all the way to 20 or 34 health on my base, and then then Deidre just kicked in. So I just like the Deidre piece of it, like where I could just go, do you want to take damage or can I just draw more cards? Like you could pick what you want to do. So anyway, also joining us, our special guest for tonight is Mr. Stone, Mr. Stone Rain Productions. How are you tonight, sir?
Great, fantastic. How are you doing today, bud?
Good. We talked a little bit. So this is the gentleman I've told you guys about, the league that I run, or not league. It's like a online tournament for Star Wars Dad. This is my co-partner that helps me run and commentate and stuff like that as well. So we talked and we're like, hey, you should come on the show. We should expand our guest experiences so that it's not just me and Alex and all the time talking, and get some other people's point of view. So here you are.
Here I am.
Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on too, man. I really appreciate it. Been looking forward to this for a while, and kind of helped me get set up with picking some cards and some deck lists, and kind of looking forward to showing off some of the fun lists that I got going on. I don't know if they're really fun. They're kind of more annoying than anything. So
those are fun.
Like annoying.
So that's what's fun. Yes.
That's fun to me too. So I'm in the right place, obviously.
Yeah. If you like annoying decks, you're on the right podcast, because for Christ's sake, we we are the podcast. We are the guys that just like control, and no matter what we play, like it doesn't matter. Like whatever deck I play, I always play it with a control tint in my eyes, and like we like trench. That was kind of the thing. Alex made it a blue hard control trench deck that has less than 9 units in it. I have a Deidre hard control Colossus deck that essentially has. I think have 11 units in it. I think I'm at 11 units. But I consider the Annihilator removal. I don't actually use it to swing to base. It is nothing but I want to be able to kill that Luke Skywalker so you can never play it again, or a home one.
It's funny you say it because I published my Dedra control list Colossus, and one of the comments I literally got it maybe an hour before I came on. They said, "Do you really only have 7 units in here?" And I said, "Yes, I do, just 7." We're not here to have fun.
We're here to drop the Annihilator. That's my win con. That's my secondary win con.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing because technically, like I have Annihilators and I have crates, and I did up the Annihilator count to 3 again.
Oh yeah.
So now I have 3 Annihilators and 3 crates, 1 tech, and 2 of the. Also, I do only have 9. Yeah. So and I have 2 of the Bounty Hunter crew. I have a 3rd Bounty Hunter crew in the sideboard for other hard control matchups.
I wouldn't really call that a unit though. It's more like recursion.
Exactly. I don't use it for anything but to get my vigilances back. Yeah. And I play it for 8 resources, so I had a guy on Carabat. So before I ended up turning off and going anonymous because I just don't want to talk to the people. Like I actually just I don't care because it just makes me angry. And then I would do stuff to and it raises my blood pressure. So I finally gone. Before I did that, I had some guy ask me, and he goes, "You're gonna pay? You just paid 8 for that?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "How much would you pay total?" I was like, "Well, if it was like 10, I probably would pay up to 10 for it." And he's like, "Why?"
I was gonna say 10. 10 sounds about right.
I was like, "Because I just want my vigilance back. That's the only reason. Or my super laser blast. Like I actually only want 2 cards back. I will if I get one of those and I haven't played any of that, I'll just resource that stupid guy and play him with tech for 10 resources later."
Yeah. If somebody ever asks that, just be like, "Because I can pay 8 or 10 or whatever. I've got the ability. I mean, that's why I built the deck this way." So yeah, I feel you. So I'm definitely in the right place then.
Yeah, we prefer. It's funny because we have like a competitive gaming group Discord we're in, and some of those guys just complain about control too much. And then I always remember they're from Alex's side, and because Alex always plays control.
No. I mean they're scattered about. They're not necessarily my locals.
But they're all but it's the Alex complaint and of it, and so when we talk in a little bit, we're going to talk about PQs, and I actually have to make a PQ deck decision, I guess, sooner than later, so that I can start practicing. Not that I have to go to a PQ, but we've got 2 in Michigan this time, and one of them is not sealed, so I need that, and if I decide I'm going to go to Ohio with you guys, that's kind of the other one. I don't know if I'm going to go to Ohio or not. That's still up in the air, but then we have Milwaukee coming up, right? Because Milwaukee's just down the road from us too, essentially. So,
for maybe your side of the state,
yeah. So for me,
you leaning towards anything right now, or
honestly, we'll get into it in the episode. How about that? We'll talk a little bit in a few minutes. Actually, that's a great segue. Let's kick the show off. And what we're going to do to kick the show off is we're going to talk a little bit about upcoming PQs. Because Stone here wants to know what I'm going to play, and I do actually have in my head kind of what I want to play, what I probably should play, and then there's going to be the crazy Tanner gets drunk. So you've not heard any of these stories before, but the first PQ I went to in set 2, I played Kira ECL. That was I was on Kira before set 2 even dropped. Kira was my bae. That was my favorite thing in the world to play. And I came in 10th out of 100 and something people. So I did decently well. I lost getting into finals because of Loopy from Late Night Gaming.
Good old Loopy.
Yeah. And then the second PQ I went to, I played Pelp Yellow for it, and I made top 8, and then I lost to Alex in his stupid Han 1 blue deck.
That was a fun deck.
which I beat during Swiss, but I couldn't somehow beat him
you
in
shouldn't have beat me
finals.
during Swiss. I super messed that up.
Well, I'm happy you did. So
I went to one PQ. My schedule has not lined up with PQs and stuff like that, and my area and stuff like that. But I went with Flip Help, and I was 4-1, and I had to leave because there was an emergency I had to take off. But I was pretty happy with 4-1 with Flip Help at that point. So I also had been playing a lot, like all day.
Yeah, and Flippy Pulp is fun. It's not, I don't know, it's not my thing. I tried it and I don't personally like it, even on a control side. Like I think there's just too much thinking for me that I play Trench and I just think this Flippy Pulp is more thinking and so it's out of my desire to play. But after those PQs, I switched and I started playing Django before Django got banned, and then I switched to Vader Pilot. And I was playing Vader Yellow. And then, so I played Vader Yellow, Han 2, Blue and Green, and then I went back to Vader Pilot and Boba Green. And so I kind of moved away from playing control at PQs, but now
every time you would have played control at a PQ, you would have done so much better.
I know. Well, I don't know about that.
Well, there you go. There's a lesson for you there. Just stick to it. Stick to what you're good at, man.
I've only made one top 8 with a control deck. I've won a PQ with an aggro deck. I came in second at a PQ through concession at a PQ because of an aggro deck. So I'm pretty sure my Vader swerve for that day was a good meta call. So.
But I mean, that gives you an out to play control now, because if you've already done the I1 with aggro thing, now you got to do the I1 with
control.
Top. Yeah,
the aggro was Boba by default. Don't let him convince you it was aggro.
Okay,
it is aggro. Come on.
I don't know. I'd say it's more mid range personally.
It's a burn deck. It's an aggro burn deck.
But it's kind of slow.
Yeah, it's not aggro.
I won by turn 7 most every game. So
turn 7's not aggro. It's an aggro for control players.
Okay, whatever. It's my aggro. All right, so
that's a good way to look at that. Yeah.
Let's jump into what have we seen, because I think that's kind of all of this talk of what Tanner is going to play and everything like that kind of leads up to what have we seen, and me seeing Piat Red kind of hit that top because I own a lot of these control ships anyway. In hyperspace foils, in fancy cards, in alternate art stuff. I'm leaning, I like that Piat Red. It's a decent deck, and it's something I could just play. Then if you look, we see there's Boba Datavault still coming back.
Yeah.
Gar ECL, we have the Sabines, Han 2 blues. There's even a Pelp yellow in there, which is crazy to me. I don't know how they made it through all that aggro.
Seriously, yeah.
Because it's not the control yellow Palp, right? It's the more mid-rangey. Even that
struggles into Han 1 green. I'm just telling you right now, I've tested it against Sam. We spent 10 games testing it in person, and it just cannot keep up with that stupid Han 1 green aggro deck. It just can't.
If I'm being real, fantastic. From my point of view, I'm seeing you playing the Yoda Tarkin Town. I just, for some reason, I just can see you play that. I think you do good with it.
I do like that deck. I do. I don't have a showcase Yoda though, so sometimes my decision on what I'm going to play outside of the Han 2s has been decisions based on showcases. Now,
been there.
So I don't. I do like that Yoda Tarkin Town deck. To be honest with you, I just don't know if it's going to be hated out. Because now everybody knows kind of its special, can it stand on its own? I don't know. We said that about Boba, and then Boba was able to kind of stand on his own, and so I just don't want to take a deck that everybody techs against. I know I did that with Boba, but that was before everybody teched against Boba.
One of the things that I really like that Yoda has going for it is the whole looping Ray thing, and it's kind of hard to really hate that out, honestly, because it's you're revealing the card, unless you're doing something like Galen and you're nuking the text on it. That's at least the one trick that you've got where there's not a lot of back and forth gameplay to do against that right now.
Yeah.
I mean, other than Galen.
True. The other hotness is this Anakin data vault is all over the place right now. And
That it is.
So like that, like when we talk about what we're seeing, like well, Han 2 blue, Han 1 green, those are, and then this Anakin data vault, and then Kira data vault, like the aggro piece like that we're seeing really is only like Boba Green, Boba Green, and we're really only seeing like Sabine, right? Like Sabine. I guess that Piat Red is kind of aggro, I guess. I don't know. Like, do you consider that aggro because he can ramp so hard?
No, I don't think so. That's still mid-range to me.
Okay.
But really, if we're looking at this aggro, it looks more like out of the two, I would rather play the Bobo over the Sabine right now. Honestly, if I had a choice between those two, I think space aggro is just positioned better at the moment.
Yeah, and you know then you have your Quinlan, right? So Quinlan's in there. So I kind of thought Quinlan was going away. It does not seem Quinlan has quite gone away yet. So that's another one to like that did very well at RPQ in Michigan. That was like it was Boba Green and Quinlan and Vader all in the top 4.
There was some debate that I was hearing that people were kind of curious what was going to win out between the Padme versus Quinlan decks because they're kind of similar to each other. And a lot of people were thinking that the Padme was going to win out just because it's like lower to the ground, but I don't really see that happening right now. Quinlan just looks like it's too good.
I don't know, Alex, have you played the Padme at all? Really?
A little bit. Not, they put a lot of effort into it.
Same.
It's kind of not really my style, but I think I prefer the Quinlan over the Padme just in general.
Yeah, I built the Padme and I planned on playing it, but our LGS kind of dried up, so I just got to find another place to play. But online, it just takes a little while to get used to it, and once you do, it's not so bad. But it just kind of seems like it's underpowered.
Quinlan has the advantage of like dropping a unit with ambush and then doing the ping and then killing things, so you can actually like trade up a little bit more. Because like Padme, there's not really like disclose this and get ambush,
right?
Or like discard this, get ambush. Quinlan's just like, well, I dropped the 2/3 guy and now it's ambushing and killing whatever.
And I think that Alex, I think you touched on like the biggest key difference there is that ambush, because I think really the only thing that you have that you can depend on is like a Plo Koon, and that's really situational at best, because otherwise you're just getting in for the 3 if you don't have coordinate. So
right,
just doesn't seem super dependable. Whereas Quinlan just has more tools, I think, right now.
You got Plo, you got Depa,
yeah,
and various other ambush things depending on your flavor of deck. And I think that is a better tempo than the Padme tempo, even though Padme's fine.
Yeah.
And also like the discard's a little bit rough. Like you don't want to blow up your own hand.
Yeah.
Just to make like a spy.
Yep. It's like, I made a 0-2. I discarded my good card.
Yep, discarded my card, made it 0-2, and then they just decided to kill it because there's no reason not to.
Yeah. I take no damage back. Okay. Yeah, I honestly thought Padme was going to be a lot better, and it's just kind of not so much anymore. It definitely Quinlan is the better deck, and in my eyes, at the very least, as you were kind of mentioning too. It's just Padme's more of the low to the ground aggressive, and Quinlan's just got that covered and mid range. It's just, I don't know, just much better.
Well, that kind of leads us into the next thing. Like, we haven't seen Bale take off. We haven't seen, like you said, Padme take off. We haven't seen Sabé really take off that well, or Deidre, or Mon Mothma. And those are always all ones that we kind of thought were possible meta contenders. So we'll start, Alex. Like, do you think is it because the other leaders are just that much better that we're not seeing this take off, or is it just because people aren't experimenting with the
and do stuff?
Okay,
that's my opinion. Some things like, well, we explored Padme for a bit. Turns out, yeah, Quinlan just kind of does it a little bit better, right? So that makes sense. I still really, really love Bale. I think Bale Blue is a very underrated blue-green hero deck.
Yeah.
My
fine too.
My thought process is, one of the first things you want to do is you want to test against the pillars and you want to upgrade the pillars. And it just kind of seems like people are just stuck on those pillars. Like, hey, Anakin Green is really good now. We've played Anakin. We've got results with Anakin. Let's go with something safe. And kind of to Alex's point, I don't really think that people are getting into playing the new cards as much anymore. Or I don't even know if they ever did, honestly. But I think that the cards that you're showing here, the not seen yet, they all have really strong potential. I think pretty much all of us could agree on the Dedra. The control version is really good. You guys really like Bale, and we were talking about ramping with that. It's just bonkers. And personally, I really like Sabe quite a bit. I think she's a sleeper. I think that she could put some results up soon.
What's with this distinct lack of Jabba? What's up with that?
I put the lack of Jabba because I also think that like Jabba is not. People aren't going to play Jabba until Kira rotates. It's that same thing. You're right. You could put Jabba on here, according to you, but I mean,
I like my Jabba ECL better than my Gar ECL.
Well, that's crazy.
I won the PQ with Gar ECL. I think the Jabba deck's better.
I'm gonna side with Fantastic on this one here. I think Kira does it better, personally. That's my own opinion. No shade on Jabba. I think that after rotation, I think it's definitely going to be a lot better, but I guess I just don't see it enough yet.
Data Vault, yes. Kira way better. Two completely different things, though. Jabba ECL and like Kira Data Vault. Jabba ECL is not soft control. Jabba ECL is just like straight mid range.
We'll have to look at lists later for sure.
I'll send you one.
Check it out. Cool.
Yeah. We covered the list a little bit on the show. I actually that's the job I have sleeved up for the most part. I have mine's a little different, but it's 95% the same as Alex's.
Nice.
Now, and like I played that at locals, and like there's certain decks that I can't get her through certain types of decks, and other decks it just like crushes, and then. But that's the same thing as like with Kira. Kira has its downsides. Like Kira does not like space, whereas Jabba doesn't care as much. Like Jabba's a lot easier into space than Kira is. Kira doesn't have the space presence that it could, right? And that's where like your guard deck was very decent into space because you played a lot of space and you ECL.
Because I respect space.
Different things and stuff like that. And Kira's game plan is typically a little bit different. But I don't know. Like I think like this is the question that you got to take back to yourself. Can you get enough like reps in with one of these decks to be able to take this to like a PQ? Because we do see all the time off meta stuff at PQs. Like, I don't know, Alex, the last PQ we went to, there was a guy running Mace Blue. And I never would have thought I would have seen that. But, I mean, if that's what you have reps in with and that's what you like, that's what you play,
100% agree with that.
I'd bring my Jabba ECL deck to a PQ.
Yeah.
I brought my Flip Palp. We were talking about that before the show started, and I had good luck with it because I had so many reps with it.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, because we did see Flippy Palp too in Michigan. I didn't have to play against it, but we did see it. Like, it was there. It's just, like it probably has bad matchups. And so like, that's the question. Definitely. Is like, like we haven't seen these leaders make a splash. I think you probably made the case for Padme not yet. Like I was kind of under the impression that Quinlan was going to have a harder time. But like Deidre, in my opinion, Deidre beats Boss Scout like hands down, like just period. Like I don't have any weird conditions but paying one resource to do damage or draw cards. Bosk has all these conditions he has to meet. Yeah. And when Boss flips, like his flip turn can be insane, but it takes so much setup to get it that way. I just don't see Boss being a thing going forward in the future.
Probably not. Yeah, and this is kind of his last hurrah. And I think that outside of Dedra, I think that most of these will probably have to wait for rotation, sadly. That's my prediction on these ones here.
And I'm not with you with Sabe. Like, I mean, we tested Sabe. The Sabe does not like Deidre heart control.
Mm-hmm.
but it does also not care. So like if it hits its correct cards and can buff and you only get one removal, it can become the aggro deck against Deidre like really easily. And if you can't take care of Sabe that turn, she could just strip your hand of the cards you need. And then it doesn't work. But like you were saying, like Bale, like I don't know. We kind of like, we're like, hey, Trench isn't that great, and then we looked, oh wait, hold on a second, Trench is actually really good
in one instance.
And so like that's the thing, is like, okay, well, we knew there would be something to Bale going into it, like because of the fact of being able to resource cheat. The biggest issue with Bale is the discarding the cards, and then you found the way around it is
You just don't.
you don't have to use this thing to discard his cards all the time, and you could build a pretty big
Unless
hand.
you're discarding villainy cards because you run Power of the Dark Side and like Chancellor Palpatine and Triple Anakin.
Yep.
Then you don't care.
I think that has the best chance, honestly, to break out. But as far as like solid picks for right now, I think Dedra's got the best solid pick. I think Bale can definitely break through, but I think that, I don't know, Thork was really big on Mothma. I just honestly don't see it. I think out of the two, I'd rather pick Bale. He's just better. And Padme and Sabe, I think we're going to probably have to wait for rotation for sure. But it also kind of depends on the Sabe list that you're running, because we've seen the double yellows. I've seen some people go in Vigilance. That's my preference with her as well too. So I guess it depends on the way that you're going with it.
I got a local of mine who's doing Mon Mothma, but he's not doing like green Unity of Purpose because that's like very all in on one strategy. It kind of falls apart. He's doing blue, and it's just kind of like green, blue, heroic late game stuff. But he's also
cool.
just like, he's got those dignitaries and all that kind of stuff, just like to heal, and he's got like all these officials, and like the board can go really wide out of nowhere.
So it's kind of like a late game mid-rangey kind of control-y deck.
Yeah, it's a little bit less on. It's more like unit control.
Yeah.
Kind of, but it's like, kind of geared towards late game, and it's got the home ones and the Lukes and stuff, but it's also like got enough low cost, kind of just really annoying, choose your best officials you can deck to just kind of duke it out. It's pretty solid.
It sounds really fun to me.
I like it a lot, actually.
You know what I'm surprised that we haven't really seen yet is Luke, because I think that with like Cinta, there's a lot of potential play with him, and he just seems like really, really good right now.
That's a good segue into the decks that are still on our radar, Stone, because Luke is actually on my side. Like Luke is one of my top picks for why haven't we seen him? And I know people were trying him at Beatle, but like Luke can beat the Vaders and the Bobas of the world pretty easily if, like just doing unit control and then slamming the base at the end. And you can't kill Luke very easily compared to like Boba or Vader. Like Luke can't just be confiscated in the way you want to confiscate him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
I also think, Akbar, like what happened to Akbar? Like I still think Akbar should be on the radar, because I think that, like spamming, like large amounts of units, we just haven't seen people do that. But
Thrawn too. I think people really need to be on guard for Thrawn, because it's just, there's a big list waiting right around the corner. I'm sure of it. Like the leader's just too good to ignore. You can't do that.
Yeah. And I think his 7 health really helps, and he can ramp. And, we haven't seen a lot of Cad Bane come back. And, like, Cad Bane was top dog. And where's my Cad Bane? Like, is Cad Bane really now losing to all these things? Or
I don't think so.
I just can't imagine we aren't going to see Cad Bane. I think Iden's probably a little bit more of an outlier. I don't, like, if you're playing hard control, are you going to go with Iden? Like, I think it's better than going with Kira for hard control, personally.
Right.
But,
well, it depends on what you mean. You mean like the double blue, or are we talking green?
No, green.
Data vault.
Okay.
Yeah, data vault, baby.
Okay.
I don't think the double blue Iden is viable anymore when we have so much other stuff we need. I just don't think it is.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Honestly, on this list, I really think that Pilot Luke is probably the best. And that's kind of a bold statement to say, I guess, but I really like it with Cinta. It's just bonkers, especially with that 2 damage. It's really nice. My brother played it, and he just constantly does really well with it.
No, it is. It is pretty annoying. We have one of my locals has been working on like doing either ECL, Luke, or like Dataval keeps waffling back and forth, and it can work out pretty well.
Yeah, I guess I could see either, honestly. It's a pretty aggressive deck. I guess you'd probably be okay with an ECL.
Yeah, a lot of it's for like Poes and Wreckers that he was considering throwing in there just for some like ground presence.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Yeah, just kind of to buffer the life total a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, especially like the Poes are just stupid good with ECL, right? Especially if you're going
Seriously.
against other pilot decks, which it kind of gets a little bit weird if you're both trying to go heavy space. So with the Poe, if they have a ground unit out, if it's like a Boba or something, then you can like detach their pilot.
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Honestly haven't really played a lot of Poe, but that's one of the cool things I like. That just kind of being able to move them around. Or I don't even know if anybody ever actually has anybody ever actually tried eject. I have never even really looked at the Poe.
I have seen it in Poe decks, and then I'm just like, okay, whatever. I think people stop
Yeah.
playing that pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it was just at the start, but yeah, I don't know. It's just not really my thing, I guess. But I guess everybody's kind of got their own subset of what's good for them.
I think that kind of leads us into what's good for you, right? Man, you're queuing everything up tonight, Stone. Like,
yes, look at me.
I didn't even ask him to queue it up. He's just queuing us all 24/7.
It's the way the conversation's going. I don't know.
So the question then becomes: this takes us all the way back to the beginning. Like, let's bring it all the way back. And you asked me, what do I want to like? What do I want to bring to a PQ? And so, like, I think the question becomes: is what do I want versus what should I be bringing versus probably what I'm going to bring, right? And I think the top like 4 decks for me right now are the Jabba ECL or some sort of a Jabba 30 health. The other deck for me is Deidre Colossus because I just love control so much. Then I have Han 4, but I'm on Han 4 red versus Tarkin Town. I don't know which is better, but whatever. Like that's a different conversation. And then the other thing is the Boba Green, right? Like though I've won with Boba Green, I have results with Boba Green, I have results with Vader Pilot. I also think Vader Pilot is fine. But if we're gonna live in a pilot meta, I would prefer to just play Han 4, I think.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna do that. But so there you go. Those are the decks that I'm considering. And for all the local, everybody that wants to tech against me, there you go. But like the big thing for me, like when I talk about what do I want, like Jabba ECL is probably the smarter move if I want to play control or somewhat like a mid-rangey control, right? Like that's probably for me as an individual the smarter move to go with. If I want to have a higher probability of winning things, it's probably got to be the Han 4, or the Vader. If I want to have fun, it's Deidre. Because that's like, and you've never heard the story, Ray. We have, we went to a PQ. During set 3, the first PQ I went to in set 3, I was on, Django, and my version of Django was a little bit different than everybody else's. I was a little bit more unit based and not so TDR reliant.
Okay.
Which in my opinion was the correct way to run Django without being a dick. And I had won a Sword Showdown. I hadn't had any problems. Me and a buddy got drunk in the lobby of a hotel in Chicago, and I changed and swerved to Bosk Blue. For whatever reason. Do not ask me why. I have no idea why, other than I was drunk and we were talking and I didn't want to play a bunch of Django mirrors all day long. So I was like, I'm going to play Bosk. And then my very first game, I got paired up with another Bosk. And I was like, you got to effing be kidding me right now. This is the most ridiculous thing. I literally chose this deck so I didn't have to play a mirror. And he was not the only control deck that I had to play against all freaking day. I played against 3 other control decks that day. It was awful. Like, I should have just stuck with Django and been done with it. That's the last time I brought her. Well, I guess I brought Palpatine though. I did bring that Palpatine yellow.
Well, I guess that just there's a lesson here in this. Don't drink when you're going to play cards.
It's the
See,
night
Tanner does all
before.
this prep. I usually just make it like the night before,
Yeah.
just whatever
That's
deck that I feel like I'm bringing.
See, I've got my own philosophy, but I want to hear what you have to say, Alex. What would you play if you were going to go? Just pick up a deck and play. What would you play?
Right now for a PQ, I'd probably choose Java ECL,
Sweet.
just because that deck is silly when you have 4 different cards, 3 for none your opponent. Either
So
Devastating Gunship, Cad Bane, Anakin, or Blue Vader.
so you've got a lot of reps in with the deck too, as well. I'm guessing.
I tend to not play a deck for very long. I tend to make a new deck every week and just play that. But I have played Java ECL on and off, where I'm just like, okay, this was really fun. I'm glad I'm playing, Mono Blue Ray. Let me try this matchup with Gar ECL. Let me see how this works. And then it's always just like, oh, I just blew up everything and I just, whoops. Um, so yeah, I guess I probably have more reps with that deck than any other deck this set.
That's
But
cool.
it's like less than 50 games for sure.
Yeah, if I was going to pick a deck, see, I have a little bit of a philosophy here. If you're going to play something that aligns with you. So if you're control at heart, even if it's going to take a while, stick with what suits you best personally. Because if it aligns with you, even if it's maybe not suboptimal, it's going to be best suited for you. You're probably going to be more likely to have fun with that deck. I have so many reps with Flip Palpatine, and I feel really comfortable, even with the pressure of light side, dark side. It's just old hat to me that I would just play that. And I'd probably go with the Darth Treya version of it at the moment, which is kind of flip back and forth and get as much value out of the leader as I can.
You should send me that deck. I got a local who's been working on trying to make a Treya Palp deck work.
Sure.
And I could pass that along to him because I could put the effort into doing that, but I'm not I don't like Chancellor Palpatine at all.
Nope.
Like, it is
Yeah, I
not
get it.
anywhere anything that I want to play. I don't know why. It seems like it should be right on my alley.
Well, it's so much thinking because you're doing a lot of thinking normally with SWU, but with this you have to like at least one extra turn ahead with it, and it's very exhausting.
Yeah,
Unless
I
you're
love
not
stuff
used to
like that.
if you're not used to the grind with him, it's really challenging. But that's my trail version I put in chat there for later.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I will pass that along. But if I don't bring Java ECL, I don't know. I'm working on some form of Gar-Saxon, either ECL or Red. Bale Blue was actually a pretty strong contender for something I would consider bringing, just because it's a resilient deck. And
I really like Gar right now.
yeah, Gar's fun. And I updated my my local and I's. He's been running Grand Inquisitor Yellow since set 1.
Oh, sweet. Is he trying the
And
Treya combo or?
no, that is not for that deck.
Not for us.
Okay.
He got 4th at a PQ, our last PQ, with that deck, and only lost to me because I also play that deck.
Nice.
And my Gar ECL matches pretty well into it. So that is also another deck that I'm considering. I updated the deck, and it's pretty nasty still. It just does really mean things.
You do using the disciplinarian with GI, readying up units and stuff.
No, it's just the extra damage. It's hard to describe that style deck. It is a lot of it's like a fair bit of space, right? And with GI, you have like first turn strike ship or TIE bomber, preferably the strike ship, and then second turn Vader. You
It's so
win
hard to
like
beat.
2 turns because you just ready the strike ship for 3. Next turn you swing for 6. Then you ready it
Nasty.
back up and swing for 6. So that's 15 damage by turn 2.
Nasty.
And if they can't stop it, like you get another full swing, like, and then it's got like Rush Clovis, which no one ever plays, but he
Good
swings
card.
for 5.
That is an underrated card for sure. I think that people started playing it again recently, but yeah, it's another one that I really like quite a bit.
Yeah, like the Nihil Marauders being a 1/5 raid 3, you can swing them with them, or you can like hot shot blaster them, and then they're at 3
yeah.
attack, but they swing for 7, and you ready them back up and swing. There's a lot of like really cool random synergies. I'll have to send you that deck.
Please do. Yeah. Loving all this stuff so far.
So it's between those 4 decks.
Oh, nice. And I like the base choice too. Very cool.
Oh yeah, Genocities. If they drop like a spaceship turn 1, you just kill it. Like with Genocity, like you just have to. Or a lot of times if it was like against a force deck, the previous version we had the 2/3 for 2 ambush, like land speeder. You would jet a city, their force unit, and then you'd be able to kill it first turn as long as it wasn't like Gunji.
That
could take
fits
them
so
off the force.
perfectly for this leader. Yeah, I love it.
It's really nasty.
Very cool.
Anytime they drop a sentinel, you just give it -4 and kill it.
Yeah, I think I think we covered his deck after the PQ last time.
We did. We really got to get him on to
Yeah, we should go back over that
fun.
deck. Yeah, we could call it the anti Darth Treya deck. There you go, because
There
it's
you
the
go.
anti Darth Treya Inquisitor deck.
I mean, I added General Grievous, the 2-drop hidden 3/3, because like you can't swing at him, so you can't kill him the turn I drop it in. It's guaranteed like 3 damage, and if you do swing into him, he comes back, and you have resources all the time, so you just drop him again and ready him up, swing for 3. It gets
It's a
pretty
cool unit. You just got to make sure you're on the initiative. Yeah.
It is so funny to play it against someone who's just like a super laser tech out.
Yeah. I'll tack it. Oh, okay.
I'm swinging. Oh, cool. It's back in my hand. What a shame.
Thanks.
Oh, we've gone way off course here.
We have.
GI Yellow, Java UCL, Bale Blue. Those are like, and like Agar, either UCL or like Darkened Down. Those are the 4 decks I'd bring to a PQ.
I would think that I would, as far as reps, flip Pelt Blue. And for me, if I was going to take a more serious deck, I don't even know if you'd really call this serious, but Kazuda Red, I really like that deck. It can be very aggressive for sure. I've won games really fast with that.
Oh yeah, I got a local who plays Kaz Darkened Town. I've always been like a Kaz Blue person, but I understand that Darkened Town it goes faster, it goes hard.
My friend opened up a store, and very first event he did, as soon as it opened, was the store championship, and I brought Kaz Red, and I didn't lose a game. It was really fun.
That's awesome.
Just like turn 5, turn 6, I'm like, yeah, F you, I won.
I notice your leader flips on 6. It's a shame because it'll never be flipped in this game.
All right, let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about underrated and underutilized cards. How about that? So,
okay.
I think that's where we're gonna move on to, so that because we don't want to talk about PQs for too long. We do have PQs coming up, and hopefully you'll go back and check our segments out, because there'll be a bunch of PQs coming up in the next couple of weeks. With that being said, we have some underrated cards here that everybody got to submit, and I think the first one that we'll cover is the Renowned Dignitaries. Alex submitted that. It's actually hilarious because we are playing that in our Mon Mothma Red. My son and I are right now, and 100% if you do not keep the board clean, it wins every single time. Like, if you clean the board, that deck does not win. But if you cannot clean his board, he could just drop the Renowned Dignitaries once or twice. It's game over. Especially because you could drop Queen Padme the turn before.
Yep.
That's 3 units in 1. Yeah.
Just casually heal 8.
Yeah.
NBD.
Yeah. No, like, one of those reasons is why I really like the Renowned Dignitaries. 5/6. I mean, the Overwhelm, sure, I guess. Occasionally that'll happen. My locals that's been playing it just killed all my spy tokens with the Renowned Dignitaries, and that was very frustrating. So I'm just like eating 3 into base and losing a spy. But yeah, it's just like the healing. Obviously, when he comes down, he's an official, so you do heal 2 no matter what from him. But yeah, if you have a board Doesn't even have to be that big. Like a heal 4 or heal 6 can like really swing the game for you, especially if you're going like a tempo aggro deck. If they drop like a renowned dignitaries, that just sets you back so far.
Yeah, and I think
it's a strong card. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is the conversation, right? Like, if you're playing against aggro, like, and you can afford to bring this in, do you just always do that? Like, and I think that's, because it is non-unique, right? So you could drop one and drop one the next turn if you need
that
to.
happen. It's awful.
Yeah, and the tempo decks don't want to waylay that at all. That's just, you can't. They're never going to touch that.
So I'm good if they want to waylay it. I want them to waylay that card.
Seriously,
right.
Like please do.
Yeah, those are it is a very like that tempo swing is just so frustrating. I thought it'd be a little bit like being at 6, not as impactful, and not terribly impactful. But after playing against it a couple times and playing with it, yeah, no, it's just annoying enough to very much consider at least running 2 in your deck.
I mean, one of the other cool things with that is if you think about, if we go up the curve with this, if we do like Typho into Queen Amidala into Renowned Dignitaries, I know Typho's not an official, but just that alone, it's now you got to attack into my Typho, and then I'm putting 3 officials onto the board, and now I'm gaining 8 at least off of my Dignitary. It's just silly.
Yeah, it is. I like this card. I haven't really seen it in too many decks other than yours. So it's pretty nice. Very underrated.
All right, the next card is Vader Pilot. That was a JJ's pick. People don't play that, I guess. Like, I thought people did play Vader Pilot more often than not, but maybe not.
I've seen that quite a bit.
I had one of them in my Boba deck for a while, so.
I mean, he was like an auto include in my Von Ragdad Evolve deck, and very good if you're running any space thing in red and villainy, which tends not to be a lot of decks outside of like Boba or Piet, and typically you wouldn't include that in either of those decks because it's just not really, you don't have the low drops that you want for it. But if you are running more aggro stuff like my GI deck or something, right, like an early Vader Pilot on like your first turn play, like maybe like Kylo Silencer or something, and then he just swings for 6 and a ping is pretty nasty. Or 7/7 for 6, which is not the worst.
No, I like either mode of this. Honestly, it's just a really good card. I don't know if I'd really call this one underrated. Honestly, it's a strong card for sure. Maybe it hasn't seen enough play. I guess I could.
Well,
yeah, it's just like in. Oh, I was gonna say, yeah, like I said, like the red villainy space stuff you tend to see don't run this because they're not aggro-y.
Yeah, I think the only issue I have with it is because you're still paying 3 for it, so like that's your turn. It's like like as an in game thing, I think it's fine. Like when you're at 5 to 6 resources, like it's not as big of a deal to be able to play that pilot on there. But I think like once, and again, we don't have to talk rotation, but like once rotation happens, right? Like, are they going to give us confiscate back? Because if they aren't going to give us confiscate or power failure or anything to get rid of these upgrades, like it can become this is going to be an extremely scary time to live in, because this Vader Pilot, when you can't get rid of him, is just crazy. He's not as like nuts as the Chewbacca Pilot, right? Like Chewbacca is more of a pain in the butt, but Vader being able to do the damage to ping the shields, right? And if you could kill another 1-drop with it, like actually against, like, ironically enough, a red Vader against a yellow Vader, if they have the initiative, they can drop this on it. And if you can't kill that ship right away, all of a sudden now Vader is just pinging the, small, tiny little ships and killing them, and then doing an extra ping. And then you just kind of cry a little bit. And,
yeah, I think one of the things that kind of holds us back just a little bit, at least, is Power of the Dark Side. And we were kind of talking about rotation anyway, but that's the last thing you want to see. You play your whatever on turn 1 and then drop the the Vader on there, and your opponent's just like, all right, power, and you're like, oh, I just got 2 for 1.
Yeah, you cannot play this card into blue villainy.
Yeah, absolutely
would not recommend that.
I like when they do that, but
it's because you're the one playing the power.
It
Right.
is. Or the merciless contest. I don't care which it is.
Although they are also vulnerable to things like Fell the Dragon pretty early.
That's true. Yeah.
Which is occasionally pretty annoying.
The next one I had on there was Gideon Hask, and like I think Gideon Hask is a very underrated card, and it's funny because we don't have him in like almost anything, but like he worked like in the early days. We used to include him in like Kira ECL, right?
Yeah.
And now nobody's including him, and I think as an underrated, it's sad that he's going to rotate because I think if he in the rotation he would be good if he was kept, right? Like it would just be a very good card, and it would be something that people would play, but I think people underestimate it. Like if you put a 5/5 on the board for 5 and you ECL it in and it lives, and I know things have more health nowadays, but there's also millions of spy tokens out. And maybe last set not as underrated, but this set it's like, oh, if I could drop, I was testing this in Jabba, and I just ECL'd him into somebody dropped those stupid Chancellor Palpatine card, and now I've got 2 5/5 spies, and this guy swings in and comes in ECL'd, and he with job out, he doesn't take any damage, so you don't do anything back, but you do get the experience token with it, right? And like next thing you know, like he's a, you know, he becomes like a 6/6 or a 7/7, and then he just kind of gives out experience tokens. Like, have you ever been able to give Jabba experience tokens? Well, this is the time to do it because what do people hate more than a 2/8 Jabba, a 3/9 Jabba, or a 4/10 Jabba? That's even worse.
One of the other things that I really like about Gideon that I think a lot of people forget is that his ability doesn't put an experience on himself. He puts it on a friendly unit too, and that's something I think is overlooked quite a bit with this card as well.
But he can put it on himself if he wants.
He can, yeah. But I think a lot of people get into the trap.
Himself.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Where he can put it on a different unit as well, and I think a lot of people lose sight of that.
It's funny that you mentioned Java ECL because I cut him out of my Java ECL deck. I keep cutting him out of every deck that I make. I'm just like, yeah, Gideon, he's a great tempo play. I'll put him in Gar. Like that gets really silly with a Gar. Everything's like 2/1 tokens, and I'm just like, and I need to cut cards, and I'll cut Gideon.
Yeah, I've
been the curve.
Yeah, I've been finding that he's still good. Like I've been finding he's been good in Jabba. Personally, right now, that's kind of one of the test cards that I've been putting in. I've been testing him, and I've been testing Lieutenant Chilson. So those are kind of the two.
The 2 cards that I cut out of that deck.
Yeah, probably, but those are what I'm testing right now. So,
God, I love Chilson.
Well, I have hyperspace foils of them. I bought them for my Iden deck that I never ran at a PQ, and so now I have hyperspace foils of him, and I don't know what to put them because I don't run it in Deidre. I guess I could. Anyway, I still think Gideon is still slightly underrated. And yes, like, I mean, I think the difference is you can build a deck around some of his synergy and he becomes like pretty good. So,
yeah, it always ends up being like randomly. It's like, well, I probably don't need the Gideon. I'll cut him. I'll shuffle some things around. I don't know why. It just always happens to be that one.
It's probably just because of curve considerations. 5 is pretty high up on the curve, and you don't want a ton up in that area.
Yeah, and my other 5s are like, well, I have a devastating gunship and a Cad Bane, and those are both just better for Java
for what you're doing. Yeah, makes sense.
Or even like having Cad Bane for like Gar. It's just like, well, this is just slightly better.
Definitely.
The next one we have is General Grievous. He is a 3-cost 4/4 official, separatist official.
That's
Stone.
Why I picked him.
Yes, because he's an official. Yeah, Stone, you put him on here, so let's talk a little bit about him.
So the reason why I put him on here is I've got the sick lightsaber. No, I'm just kidding. It's just literally for the official. And really, I don't think that when set 2 came out, this got a little bit of hype because we're like, oh wow, a 3-cost 4/4, and it was this novel thing. And then people tried it and were like, yeah, I'll just stick with a 3/5 for 3. Now we're at a spot where playing a 4/4 is good, let alone the characteristics. So we've got like the Mina Bonteris and our 2/4s. a lot of units that you're going to play on turn 1 with the 4 toughness. So Grievous is kind of a nice fit where he can fit in there now. Plus, he's an official, and I think that's something that a lot of people overlook is that official tag on him. And I
Is
really
the reason to run him.
that's my
Honestly.
primary reason. Yeah. I was just gonna goof with you guys and be like, dude, I made this sick lightsaber deck with Grievous. No, I'm just goofing around though.
I had Grievous in my like Revan deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, I have constructed lightsabers and like Revan's lightsabers, and I'm like, constructed lightsabers are force only, and Revan's is unique, so I could literally never get Grievous's ability off, even if I actually tried. The one deck that I might have been able to do it.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah, but it's just, before we didn't really see Grievous a real lot. And I think that it's kind of sad that now is the time for him to shine and he's about to rotate. So kind of sad, but it's cool. I like the unit still. I wish the text on the card was like relevant for anything, but it's,
it's cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Can you play all 4 lightsabers in a turn? Nope. I've never been able to ever do that.
Yeah,
never once. I've tried. Like
I've never played more than 1 lightsaber in a turn.
It would be better if he had like a little subtext that like Kylo has, right? Like when you play him, deploy, pull from your discard all the things, because then he would at least be viable in Kylo, right? Like you could play him in Kylo, then get your lightsabers on him, and then if they kill him, you can just put the lightsabers back. And
you know what else would be kind of cool? Like if he completed an attack, you get to look at the top 5 cards for a lightsaber and put it in your hand.
Oh, that would be nice too. I would like that actually.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Make it top 4. Make it semi-thematic.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That would be perfect. Nice thinking, Alex.
How about one even better? If you killed a Jedi unit this phase, take a lightsaber out of your, not out of your discard pile, but out of your side deck, and put it on him. There you go. Like that's a thing in like other games. So why not this game, baby?
Yeah, why not? I could absolutely see that.
Let's move on to the next one. The next one we have is Evacuate. Yeah, stop. I want better Grievuses too, but we're not getting them. So Evacuate is actually a card, ironically enough, that Alex and I play the hell out of, especially in our trench deck. This is like a main staple. Oh no, I can't find my super laser blast, but I can evacuate your board and make you replay everything.
Before I hit 8 resources, evacuate.
Yeah, this is definitely like a trench staple for sure. But the Evacuate and the Legacy run are kind of for the same reason. I guess the reason why I put them on here, it's good at stalling a turn for sure, but we have so many token units right now between, I guess we don't really see a ton of droids, but spies are everywhere. We still see X-Wings, TIE fighters, with space stuff. It's just a good way to snipe a lot of token units. And I was kind of thinking the same thing with Legacy Run, where we can run this into something and just let it die and blow up a whole bunch of tokens. But that's really the thought I was going. And in all fairness, Evacuate doesn't see a ton of play normally in like the standard meta. If you want to look at like the PQs and stuff like that, I know what you're saying, because it's definitely awesome in trench for sure. But Evacuate also kind of has a secondary thing that it's cool in, where all these people are talking about these Unity of Purpose decks. Unity of Purpose doesn't work so good if you play it and then all the cards are back in their hand. So,
God, I love doing that to people every time. It was just like, Unity of Purpose, and I'm like, Evacuate. That was fun.
Let's do that again next turn.
I guess your Chewbacca's still here. I guess he'll swing in for like 8.
Yeah, I'll take it.
But also, shout out to anyone who's trying to run DJ, because Evacuate on a DJ flip turn is also really dumb if you have a bunch of units stacked under yours.
Yeah, because they all
just bounce all the units out, and now all of yours are ready. Weird.
Yep. Yeah, I'm guilty of that.
I think it's also just like a solid sideboard card for anyone who's running control.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely agree with you there. I was actually consider putting that in my Flip Palpatine for quite a little while now. And I think that now with the spy tokens, because in all honesty, we've had tokens for a while, but I think spy tokens are probably the best one. That's just a hot take, I guess.
There's a lot of synergies with officials, so it's more like the cards surrounding the spies are really what's like making them really good.
Yeah.
But they're good tokens. They actually gave token support, unlike like droids and clones. When was the
Yeah.
last time anyone's made a clone on you?
Fair enough. Yeah. Nobody's making clones. I guess
Just
unless you're playing
double
Palpatine.
yellow yep, double
Yeah.
yellow Chancellor Palpatine is the
I
only
attack
time
with my Palpatine. Look at my clone.
something left play.
Yeah.
So you touched on Legacy Run a little bit, and I think like that makes sense, right? Like I play that in Yell Thrawn. I played that obviously in Yellow Palpatine quite a bit.
Yeah.
My favorite is Thrawn, but Yellow Palpatine, I just like it because I can nuke things
You can
and
kill it at any time.
yeah, and like it's kind of hard like not to play that in there.
It's
You
good
also
with
had
Thrawn.
Maul. That was kind of your other pick was Darth Maul, and like I can't get Maul to work, but you must have had success because I have never been able to get Maul to work outside of maybe like ECL, and the problem is getting that red ECL. Like what deck am I playing? That I really want to play ECL and it's not blue because Maul works better at like the new Maul works better in blue,
Oh, yeah.
and red. But so tell us a little bit about Darth Maul.
Okay. So if I want to be 100% honest with both of you guys, I just secretly love the card, and I just wanted to see it on the list. And but in all fairness, I did make a Vader 1 green with ECL, and I'm also running Timely, and I do ramp, and so I can effectively get this out on like turn 3 pretty regularly and take out 2 units, and a good portion of the time I'm able to keep it alive. The problem is you have to hit ramp pretty quickly with this, because if you don't, it's just a waste. You need to hit your resupply is definitely the better one of the two if you're going to do that. And if you don't hit that, it's not so good. It's just kind of a tempo play. But I honestly just like this because Timely right now, and especially with stuff like spies, you can take out 2 spies and do no damage to Maul, and it's pretty cool. I like the interaction with that. A lot of my reasons here were just mostly because of spies, and spies are kind of new. But yeah, I just really like this Maul a lot, and I'm kind of sad it never got play.
I've tried so much to try to make it work.
Yeah.
Like, well, with the shield token, it just neutralizes both attacks. Maybe I can try to engineer something. No, it doesn't work
That's
well.
not good with blue at all. Yeah, it's sad. You have
But
to
it's
ramp
cool.
with it.
And I got the really fancy black version of them, and that looks real slick.
I got the nice Judge promo of them, so I'm pretty happy with that.
That is really nice too. Actually, I think I have one of those as well. They're beautiful cards.
They really are. I love the Judge promos that they do.
The next one is Agent Callus. We had on there Agent Callus. I think is underrated because he's ambush and then he gets to draw a card. So
agreed.
I think he's really good. If you want to be able to ambush something, he is a 4/4 though. So it's not super good for that, but he is really good against like other like if you're playing an aggro Kira because it just allows you to take that extra card all the time and I don't know, you could shield him and
because you can just kill Kira and you draw a card.
You know what I like best about Callus? That he doesn't have a hero or villainy affiliation tied to him. I think that's really cool, getting the extra cards, and it doesn't care which side you're on, so to speak. So it's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I'm with you as far as the 4/4 for 5, but the ambush is kind of cool because you can pick on some of the smaller units that are left over and pick up the card. So I like the mono green kind of thing with him, so to speak.
It's a staple in my set 1 Palpatine deck. He's one of the best cards in there. Yeah, no, I mean he's solid. It's really great when they have like R2D2s and C3POs and stuff out because any like low attack or like Babu, right? Like anything with like super low attack, but they are unique. You just callus it and just draw for free and still be around for another attack.
This Callus is a really cool pick. I haven't really considered it in a while. My friend was running it in a Kira list, He wanted to try something different, and I really liked it. And when he had asked me to borrow them, I was pulling them out of the binder. I'm like reading it again. I'm like, you know what? This is a cool card.
It's just a solid card. He needed
Yeah.
one more health, and then he'd be like really good.
Yeah. Imagine if he was a 4/6. That'd be busted. Well, maybe
Feels
not
like
busted. It'd be good.
Feels like a 3/5 for 4. I would play him in so many things.
Yeah, I could see that.
Just to have him around, because it's not like he has to trigger when your opponent, like, he doesn't personally have to kill your unit to draw the card. It's just anytime they die. If you haven't
Right.
drawn it yet, you can draw one. So, like, the longer he sticks around, the better it gets.
Yeah, definitely good in those vigilance, cunning control decks or soft control. I'm kind of looking forward to see who put the next card on there, because that's pretty interesting to me.
That's
Oh,
me.
JJ.
No, that's Tanner.
Drinker's fun. Oh,
You know-
fair enough. I thought that's a very JJ card because he puts it in all of his decks.
Yep, he probably gets it from me because I love this card. So
You're gonna have to tell me.
So there's a little bit about two things. Like when you said you wanted to see Darth Maul on the slide, I wanted to see Jengra spawn on the slide. But I will say part of the reason I want it on there is for the pure fact of the lore, right? Like I don't know if you have read any High Republic stuff. But it's amazing. High Republic has actually been one of my new like top books I've been reading. All of the series for them. But the reason I like this, I don't care about the overwhelm. So the overwhelm is inconsequential, though I will tell you in a double green, it works very well with the Opus legendary, the 3/3/3 or whatever that guy's.
Oh, Opal or Ancestors.
Yes, there you go.
Oh.
He works very well with that. But when this unit attacks and defeats a unit, give an experience token to this unit. So this, again, in specific decks that you can create token or create like experience tokens for him, he works out very well. So if you have a Gideon on the board, or if you have Snoke, he's tested decently well in my Snoke decks. Just because you could give him that experience token, they can just continue to stack. Now, the bigger thing is you could play him, and then the next turn you could play emergency powers on him if you would like to, okay, and give him a bunch of experience tokens, and then he's not able to be killed as easily. I think it's an underrated card personally, but we will see, I guess, going forward. I'm hoping to get a villain creature deck next set, but we will see how well that works.
I was gonna say maybe like Malakili and Doom might be cool with this too.
Yeah. So I don't know. Again, I get it. It's the Darth Maul of this slide as well. Like I really like this card. Like I love like what this card is trying to do. I wish it was a 4/4 for 4, just easier, but I do like this. I don't care about the overwhelm. So
but in defense of it though, the overwhelm is good once it gets some counters on it too.
It does,
so, yeah. But yeah, I feel you.
All right, the last card we have is Lando, and then we're gonna get to some lists. So Lando, Carizian. I toted this as the best card for sealed. Like this card, like won me so many games. It's not even funny. I played this card for 9, by the way, out of aspect.
Wow,
like a lot.
And in sealed,
not in standard. No, just in my pre-release builds. But yes, I played this. I had this out of 3. I had this in 2. I pulled the Lando twice out of a pre-release kit. So
wow,
yeah,
insane.
How unlikely. That's cool. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Lando's just really good, right? I think he's a very solid sideboard piece. If you need like just some mass healing out of nowhere, typically for like not blue-green decks, right? Not blue-green villainy, not blue-green hero. Just you capture. I mean, you don't have to send Lando for the capture, right? So you give him some schleb, and then you're just like, I heal 6. And also I'm a 6/8 grit for 7, which is a pretty decently satted unit. And I don't think people are considering him enough. He's kind of like a little mini redemption.
kind of my thing with Callus too. One of the things I like about this particular Lando is the no affiliation to villainy or hero too. Kind of, what you were talking about before, where you can just slot this into whatever you're playing, as long as you've got vigilance in there for a color or an aspect, I should say. You can get the effect off of this no matter what you're playing. It's pretty nice. The stats are nice too. Yeah.
Yeah. The grit comes into play far more than, because it's really hard to like one shot an 8 health unit.
Yeah.
So you're just like, oh, cool. You played like a typho against me. I'll just run Lando in there, and now I'm like a 10-4. And he's just hard to kind of deal with.
I'm just kind of curious too, just on an aside, this when played, do we have anything that doubles when played abilities like Qui-Gon's Ether Sprite? Because I was thinking that would be pretty cool if you could just double this up.
Just Qui-Gon's Aether Sprite, I believe, is the only one. But hey, you can do that combo.
Sure.
It does work, actually. I have gotten it off before. Not very regularly, but yes, I have. Yeah, in a Qui-Gon deck. I added this Lando to my Qui-Gon deck. So
that's cool.
I like that you're just like caught my Qui-Gon bug. Because it's a fun deck.
I love Qui-Gon.
I still have it built. Like, I literally upgraded it, and I was like, yeah, I'm not going to play it. But I have it's literally sitting over here on the shelf. Like, it's built, ready to go anytime I want to play it.
Yeah, I mean, well, healing a bunch with Redemption, then picking it back up and doing it, and then dropping like a Luke after that's pretty good. There's a lot of times where you're just like, I sneak attack in Luke, and then I just Qui-Gon pick him up.
That's pretty great.
You can sneak attack Lando in, and then heal, and then like swing with Lando, and then pop him back up and drop like a Depa or something.
That's pretty awesome too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that is enough for tonight for our underrated cards. If you have underrated cards and you want to submit them, like message us on Discord or drop them in the drop the cards you want to talk about in the YouTube comment section. Gee, many Christmas. It's must be late.
It's okay.
But
I got there.
I got there eventually.
You got there. Yeah, that's all that matters.
All right. For our last segment, I want to talk a little bit about some cool fun decks. So if you want to go play locals and you don't want to just always bring Han 1 green to every place and be that guy, you can come and build one of these cool decks that are off meta and worth your time. So I told Rain about this, I don't know, like was it like 3 weeks? 3 weeks ago, I think. Something I was like we're gonna do this. And he's like, I got a deck. It's exactly the same, but I got a different version of it. We're gonna talk. I want to talk about both of them. I was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. So we're gonna give you the spotlight tonight for your Satine. And by the way, just so you know, like Satine is on our radar of leaders once rotation happens of decks that we want to play. And we miss putting Clone on our underrated cards. We talked about putting Clone. And we never put it on there. And then we have it in the deck. And as soon as I see your deck, I was like, poop, I forgot to add that card. So go ahead, kick the segment off, Rain. Tell us a little bit about your Satine mid-range officials version. And then we'll talk about your Force version after that.
So the reason why I wanted to do two is because I was building a Satine list and I couldn't really figure if I wanted to go officials or if I really wanted to go Force version. And I was kind of somewhere in the middle, and I was like, you know what, just screw it. I'm going to do one of each and see how it plays out. I like the Force one a little bit better, but let me give you the premise first. So the reason why I'm picking Satine in here is because blue-green got some really annoying units to keep around. So like in this one, Typho specifically is a massive pain to keep. Like if anybody that's played against him, he's just so annoying. So my thought was, hey, let's keep these annoying Sentinels around for a little bit longer. And particularly with Typho, somebody attacks into him. If they don't kill him, you reveal your card, you heal one from your base, then you activate your Satine, you heal the two. So it's kind of like the self-contained loop where you're just keeping him around as long as possible. And the Queen Amidala is just for board presence. The Dignitary this is for you, Alex. I have clone in there for the dignitary primarily,
Oh.
or you can do it with Luke and get an extra Luke in there and start restoring like crazy, depending on what you do. But there's really no bad target for it. But this is supposed to be more of both of these lists are supposed to just be super, super annoying. This one in particular, the Typho, keeping it alive with your Satine. Satine is primarily there just to keep your units as healthy as possible. The Entrenched is there primarily for Satine, so she's basically going to be a 311 with Restore 4, taking stuff off the board. It's kind of cool. It's just this deck is a giant pain in the ass. That's the best way to describe it. The other version is even more of a pain in the ass, though.
And like worst comes to worst, right? You can entrench like a Typho and
Absolutely.
tell them to like try to deal with it.
That's another line.
You're also a little bit weak in space. I mean, like you have some
Oh,
space
yeah.
stuff, so like entrenching a giant space unit, especially if it's like, oh, they flip Pilot Vader onto something.
That's the
It's a
backup.
nice versatility. Yeah.
Entrenching something in space. Traitorous is kind of a slight nod to the space game as well too, but yeah, you can definitely entrench space stuff as well. But there's so much restore in here that you can counter race pretty easily with this too.
You wanna go through like card by card?
Sure. Yeah.
Usually how we do it. So
Yeah. So the Populous Advisor is just a little annoyance. It's a 1/4 for 1. Most of the time, we're going to have just as many units on the board as our opponent. We've got a lot of low cost stuff in here. I think we've got 12 things that we can play on turn 1, which is great for a 30 hit point base. I didn't want to commit to Data Vault just because of the diluting of the numbers. But Populous Advisor, we generally. So I'm sorry, I'm getting that confused with the Corrupt Politician. This one is if your opponent attacks your base. Worst case scenario, we've got a 1/4 as a backup. They get that one attack into base, and now they have to attack this. Meanwhile, our Chandrillan, the second, I can't remember the second part.
Dignitary, sponsor,
Yeah,
sorry.
thanks.
Sponsor.
That's okay. The sponsor and Mina are basically there to restore. And I think it's the Chuchi that gives other officials extra restore. So that kind of covers most of the restore. We do have some of like the A-Wing in space. We kind of have that as a card that we want to die with Spark of Hope. Also, the sponsor is good at doing that. Sometimes the Populous Advisor as well too, but that's just kind of a consideration: A, for space, and B, for something that we can kill, get our Spark of Hope. Entrenched, we cover this a little bit. You can use that on Satine, but the other 2 copies you can put on space units if you need to, or you can entrench the Typho or something really annoying like that.
So, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna. Why the Phoenix Squadron A-Wing over something like a Restored Arc if you're still trying to get like early restore?
It's just primarily for consideration of taking a space unit off the board and also triggering the Spark of Hope. That's really about the only reason why I have it in there.
Fair enough. I just figured like with the 3 health with the arc, you can actually like kind of use Satine, right? If you're, I mean, it's slower because you're not outright killing things, but that was just a question.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a good thought too. And if anybody wanted to pick that up and switch that out, by all means, feel free to do that. I think that's a pretty good choice.
Though you do get less cards for Typho.
Yep, that's true. But anyway, moving on to the Akbar, we don't really have a lot of removal in here in the main deck, at least. So it's a unit and it takes out other units, and that's kind of what Blue Leader does. The Palpatine, we've got a 1 of, just kind of a hedge for when we flip. Getting the board clogged up is pretty nice. It's an official. It fits the theme with our Chuchi and all of our other officials and the dignitary that we spoke about. We've got a little bit of ramp in here. I'm kind of stuck on the Spark of Hope. I don't know if I wanted to do 2 or 3. I ended up going with 2. Just it's not really reliable, but I wanted to have something in there. I think this is more of a resupplied list, but anyway, Typho is the star of the show. You want to keep that alive as long as possible. I like the entrenched on that. I think that's great. and we just basically want to keep healing up our units. The Restore is going to take care of the downside that we've got with Satine, because she's going to be dealing 2 damage to the base. We're going to get that back with most of our Restore stuff, like the sponsor alone just gets all that right back. The Amidala is to get wide board and lots of officials, followed up by the Dignitary. That's just a lot of health to get back. As far as the ramp goes, the resupply carrier, I've got 2 in there just kind of as a little extra late game ramp. 1 copy of resupply, 2 copies of clone for now. Again, we talked about what we would hit with that. You could go with the Keller and Beck as well too if you want, if you need to get a bigger board and you don't have something like an Amidala. But primarily with the clone, I like to hit the Dignitaries, Queen Amidala. Typho, having 2 Typhos is just stupid, or a Luke, and then lastly the home one just for late game stuff against control. It's really annoying. The Force version I think is actually better, but I really like this a lot because of the Dignitary. And when I saw Alex's card, I was like, oh yeah, love that. But yeah, if you want to jump to the Force one, I can just kind of skip over the cards we already talked about.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. By all means, go with it's a green Force space. Nothing. The 28 health. Nothing. No Mystic Monastery. That seems the correct choice.
Yeah, for this one, I think so. But we've got a little bit more. We're just primarily sticking with Force here. I know there's a Mina in this, but we're doing the same thing. But now we've got the Obi-Wan and we've got Chirrut. And Chirrut and Satine are just nightmare fuel because you just cannot get him off the board at all. It's just so stupid unless you kill him in one shot. We've got the clone Yoda combo, which is just, if you've ever played against it or seen it, it's just, if you see if you see clone hit Yoda, that's pretty much game, because every time that you use the Force after that, you're just shooting everything down off your opponent's board. It's just really silly. But yeah, we want to stick like a Gunji, and primarily if you're not playing against like the villainy, the Vigilance villainy, ideally you want to do like a Gunji with a General's Blade and just kind of keep rolling from there. It's very similar to the other version, except this one's got like Itinerant Warrior, so we need other ways to use the Force other than Chirrut, just kind of as a backup. We've got Yoda, Itinerant Warrior, we've got the Daughter, and we've got Chirrut. Otherwise, most of the game plan is pretty similar, except this one does it a little bit better because we've got more of those annoying Sentinels.
Oh, yeah.
We just want to keep them alive as long as possible.
And I love the Daughter, just in general, as I think it's a very underrated card. But also with Satine, that just seems very annoying as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, because you just keep everything on the board forever. And that was the other part, too, is like you wanted to balance using her ability with the Restore effects. And that's why I really like Chandrila and Sponsor. I had it in the Force version for quite a long time, and I was like, then I hit the Typho and the Obi-Wan, and it just kind of got too busy, so I decided to split them up. And I'm glad that I did. I like this Force version a little bit better, but they're both good.
Yeah, I like the Force version a lot. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's annoying.
Yeah,
I can tell you, I've played a lot of games with this on Karabast, and people talk about comments. Like when I'm signed in, people just, yeah, I've got some nasty comments. It's pretty funny.
Tell them to play a good leader like Satine.
That's the other thing that pisses people off quite a bit. Like, Satine, really? Like, yeah.
You're just like, hey, did you win? No, weird.
What, my 0-8 Restore 4? Oh, come on. It's broken. But yeah, that's just, I just wanted to keep these annoying Sentinels alive as long as possible. So that's what I came up with.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a lot.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
All right, let's move on to the next one. The next one we have is a Sly Moore Mono Yellow.
Yeah.
Rain, this is different than the one we saw, but the whole conversation. So this is when we were casting. You and I talked a little bit about, we really like this deck, and we really want to see something go about it. So I took it, tried to play it, didn't have a good result. So I sent it to Alex and said, hey, somebody make this. Like, somebody fix this. And so this is Alex's version of a
Nice
remade
job,
deck.
Alex.
And I think that we're going to have to, when we host the next one here, it's going to have to be a conversation that kind of comes up, right? Like I think it's something that we talk a little bit about. And maybe you could float this to whoever ran the other one, and we won't tell anybody that you did that.
Yeah, I could do that. I remember who played it, so I think he'd be pretty open to playing this, honestly. And Alex, kudos. This looks great, in my opinion. I really like what you've done with this.
It is.
I
an
like the
annoying
other
deck to
version.
go against. Yeah. Yes. Let me just quickly go through this. Just sly. Pull the showcase. Want to play with my showcase?
It's a
Mono
nice
yellow
looking
seemed to.
showcase too.
It's the best one from this set. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, well, Chancellor Palpatine's double yellow. I make spy tokens. Spy tokens coming in ready is pretty cool. I guess I'm going with mono yellow. So it's a triple Hotshot Blaster, triple Aura, triple Cartel Turncoat, triple Grievous, triple Lothcat, triple Rest, because, again, control player.
Now that's the base one, right?
Yes, your base captures things.
Love
it is
that.
very useful. Oh, man. First turn, they played in an A-Wing. Second turn, they just put Chewbacca on it, and I just arrested the ship. I'm just like, okay. Don't need Chewbacca
awesome.
anymore. What a shame you wasted your whole turn.
Oh, that's
I will
too
get
bad.
to specific instances, but double, no one ever knew. That's the one that exhausts for every official you have, and spies are officials, and so is Grievous. Triple Surprise Strike, triple the Contracted Jump Master, triple Lurking Snub, double Lurking Tie, triple Shinhati, double Frozen and Carbonite, because I'm still a control player.
Love it.
Triple Palpatine, triple Cunning, double Cantina Bouncer, triple Mandalorian Pilot, double Trade Federation Delegates. That's the 3/4 Grade 2 Spy tokens. Really funny, the turn after Chancellor Palpatine. And then double Cad Bane. On the side, I got triple Bazine, double Breaking In if I need to go faster, a third Frozen, a third Phantom for control, double Change of Heart, and the third Cad Bane. And it is you just straight tempo your opponent. That's all it is. It's just I play a unit, you get exhausted, I continue swinging eventually, and make spy tokens.
I got 2 questions for you too.
How
fun is it to play? And I'm playing it.
Second one, not much of a question, but it's a blast to play.
Oh, yeah,
it is so fun.
It
is so fun, and it's a very unassuming list, but it is more explosive than you'd expect. I would not recommend putting the Hotshot Blaster on Grievous, but other than that, it's super fun.
Yeah, you regret that instantaneously. I did it, by the way. I tested it because I didn't have any other unit out, so I didn't know what else to do.
Well, that's the thing too. If it's your first time playing a deck too, it takes you a little while to get used to lists too.
No, the worst thing that's ever happened to me is my opponent kept swinging their Owen into my Grievous. And I'm just like, I need more ground units, so I can't resource the Grievous, but this is just the worst feeling in the world. They're restoring 2 and just bouncing my guy.
Yep.
I will say funny.
the only issue I had with this personally was just the lack of turn 1 plays. That's what I found is with
you got 12.
Sure, but you know how many times I did not, and maybe I'm just used to playing with more turn 1 plays in an aggro deck. But the Grievous felt fine, Cartel Spacer felt awful on turn 1. Obviously, Oracing was amazing on turn 1. And I didn't like Lothcat on turn 1 because they just always killed my unit. It didn't matter who it was. They could be playing an aggro deck, and you just don't have. So that was the only issue I found is I did not enjoy the lack of turn 1 plays. And I'll be honest with you, I either won or lost before I ever got to Cad Bane. So I never needed Cad Bane ever.
I've used him so much.
I'm sure you do, and I'm sure
he's back in the game.
I'm sure he can, but I've you almost always just lost or won based on that. I don't know. The double yellow Cunning piece is just Cunning for all the double cards. Cunning is the most fun card because you have to you could just one time I didn't have any units to give +4 to, so I just exhausted their units and then bounced their unit that had a pilot on it. It was like an IG or something like that, back to their hand. And like he's like, well, why'd you bother to exhaust it? And I was like, well, I mean, because I didn't have anything better to do with it.
You could have ripped a card from his hand.
I could have, I guess, but I wanted to exhaust. They used the stupid now there are two of them. And so like he just had like, I don't know, it just whenever they have two big units out, it just sucks. Like you have to deal with it. So
hey, the taller they build, the better this deck gets because you just exhaust everything.
Yes.
That's true.
But I did find, like that's another card we probably should have put on the slide is, the no one ever knew or whatever. That card actually
that's fair.
Is very good in this deck. And I'm sure it's not good in every deck, but like it's like, oh no, I'm just going to exhaust your board. So it sucks to be you, like.
So there's definitely turns like after I played like a trade Federation delegate and like made a spy with Sly, I just like and exhaust the 4 units you have on the board and I have a free turn.
It's kind of like a cheaper outmaneuver in this deck. It's really cool.
Yeah. And like Grievous is also an official. So like you have some minor synergy with that. There's not too many officials outside of the spies and Sly and like Palpatine.
But that's enough though. I mean, you're making spies with this too, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I think one of the changes I would make is maybe be adding in the those underworld duos, the 2/2 with a shield. I like those guys.
I had crafty smugglers in there for a bit. You could probably cut like an arrest and hotshot for them if you wanted to add 2. Mess around with some of the numbers.
Yeah, just to give me a few more 1-drops. I just or not 1-drops, turn 1 plays. So yeah, and I'm not
like over the Lothcat maybe.
I love those Lothcats. Those are
I like it too.
You can exhaust leaders with them.
That's so good.
Yeah, but it only helps if you get it on your their leader turn. You know how often I get that as my turn 1 play. For a while, I was getting 2 of them, and I was like, "Oh, great! Like this is super awesome for me. I can't do anything."
But the Lothcats and the Cartel Spacers are just a disgusting second turn play. Yeah, because like you just play that, you exhaust their unit. If they play a unit, now there's 4 exhausted units, and you have 1 resource, so you just make a spy while gaining more tempo because that's what this deck does.
Yeah, I love that. Like no one ever knew cards like so good in this deck. Like specifically this, it's just so choice. Really good.
Yeah, I love it. I don't know, for better. Maybe you can cut the Frozens for a couple of crafty smugglers, but man, those things are just so nice to just out some really annoying things. Same with the arrest. It's just like, oh, you dropped a sentinel in front of my board. Now I'm going to arrest it. That only cost me 2, and I'm just going to continue swinging.
The card is so good.
Yeah, I think
or things like Chewbacca. That was really funny.
I think I would drop an arrest and maybe one of the Mandos for that to add 2 of them in there. Man.
I don't know
5/6 for 5, exhaust 2 things on their board. He lives through so many things. He's so strong, and then you can hotshot blaster him.
But the other thing that you can do too, like the other thing that, like I hate saying we should throw an offsuit color card in there, but Chancellor Palpatine is absolutely. I added one of him in just to play around with it, and when I flipped Sly, I played Chancellor Palpatine, and it's absolutely hilarious if you have
the other Chancellor
Palpatine out, because he's probably not super good for 5 in this deck, but like he's okay. It was absolutely hilarious because the spies then came in ready. Sly was protected.
My locals see Chancellor Palpatine. They're just like, I don't quite get it, so they just full send all their units into killing him.
So does Sly flips on 5, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so it's perfect to put the plot Palpatine in there. You're right. I mean, yeah, I think that's perfect for this Tanner. You're right.
Yeah, I don't know how good it is long term. I just know that was like a card I added to test with, just so I had a plot card when she flipped, because I thought it was absolutely hilarious.
The lurking snubs, they're great.
Yeah, you do have those. If you get that, like if I get them, I would rather play that over Palpatine 100%. Yes, it's because the biggest issue is sometimes I don't have those to be able to play over Palpatine. But like I said, I only put a 1 of in there. I was just testing it if like what's the probability I get to flip and have a Chancellor Palpatine live? Well, people don't kill that thing, weirdly enough. Like, why? I don't understand why you don't kill it. Like, they should be killing that Chancellor Palpatine.
My locals do, like, immediately. I have to play that in, like, turn 7.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Other than that, like, I like the deck. I think it's a very fun deck to play personally. So
it looks great.
And those lurking snubs, like, you don't have to plot them out. Like, they just they fit super well into your game plan.
Yeah, they're a fine curve for what they especially in this deck, because you could play that with the 4 resources, right? Exhaust something that they're trying to swing with, and then you have a choice. You can either create the spy token or claim, if you want. Like, it all fits in there. I genuinely wish he could create a spy token for free. Like,
yeah,
that would be my
so
favorite.
Silly. That'd be so busted.
But I really like that you can plot that, or like, it's fine on curve. The lurking snub. It's so good.
And you could put Mandalorian in it.
Yeah, Mandalorian is just... I'm so glad it's finally getting to see some love here. It's such a good card.
People don't like it when you put them on the contracted jump master and just turn it into a 5/5.
Oh, wow.
Sentinel. For 5 resources.
Yeah, not bad.
All right, well, we'll move on to the last deck that we have tonight. I have a C3PO Data Vault deck that I would love to make work. I will say I don't know how to beat mid range and all with this, but I can usually beat aggro, and I can usually beat like control decks with this. It is a very fun deck if you want to play C3PO. It does require a little bit of sequencing for it, but essentially this is, I have 3 A-Wings, 3 Babu Fricks, 1 C3PO, the green version.
From the intro battle, or no, that's from the new set, right?
That's from the set, yeah.
Gotcha.
3 Cartel Spacers, 2 Mining Guild Ties, 3 R2D2s, 2 Accelerated Plans, 3 Rebel Assaults, 3 of the Hot Shot Blasters, 3 Battlefield Marines, 3 Leias, 2 of the Phoenix A-Wings, 2 of the R2D2, the Republic version. That, as a note, that can be swapped out for the Battle of Hoth 1/4 if you want. I found it very ineffective, personally. So
it's like they were designed that way.
Yeah, so I don't. It is a Rebel, so it fits the Rebels energy. But I find I just would rather have these two R2D2s, or I'll just go with the pilot one, the 1/4s. Like, whatever, I don't care. 3 Surprise Strikes, 3 Blue Leaders, 2 Echo Base Defenders, 3 Fleet Lieutenants, 3 Falcons, 2 Wing Leaders, 2 Bog Down. I don't remember what the last word
Bog
is.
Down procedure.
In procedure.
Yeah. 2 Unveiled Mites, 3 Chewbacca's, 3 Han Solo pilots, and I believe I have 2 Light Makers in there. The sideboard is just whatever. Like, I just threw sideboard stuff. Yeah, it's just my anti-space aggro type deck with a little bit of tiny bit of late game, but it's just ignore it. It's just stuff I threw in there.
Well, I mean, Tanner, if you're beating 2 out of 3, I think that's pretty great. I mean, if you can beat 2 out of 3, I think you're way ahead of the curve, honestly. I'd be like, all right, mid-range, sure, I'll lose. Give me the other 2, because you're going to run into all 3 of them.
Yeah. I find, like, the deck that really hates this is Grand Inquisitor. Like, you never have initiative, but Grand Inquisitor insanely hates this deck, because all I do is just things like, yeah, go ahead. I'm just going to, like, even Churn 1, you can't do anything with your Grand Inquisitor. Like, you might as well not put damage, because I'm just going to kill whatever you put damage into. It is a little, like, the accelerated plans is a little cheeky. That's like that one I'm testing. Same with like that Bog Down in procedure. Like, technically we probably don't need that. You probably could replace that with Waylays. You could put Beguiles in there if you'd rather have Beguile. Like, there is other options. Like, so those are what I would call like the floating cards that I've been testing. It's funny because Paul will watch this and he's gonna be like, hey, the version you sent me didn't have those in there. But I've been testing those, and like accelerated plans feels better than Bog Down procedure, but it is nice to be able to exhaust things, because you could just, it's similar to that Slime More. You can just exhaust boards. And then obviously that's what Lightmaker does. You know, like the funniest thing I ever had is they killed Lightmaker, so I couldn't swing in and win the game for 7. I exhausted their whole space arena, and then because it's my turn, I then swung in with C3PO and exhausted their leader. And basically it was like, oh, we just like the whole churn just went null. And then I put another Lightmaker out and I was like, do you want to do that again? Like, we could do this again. I'm just going to do this every single time. You should kill my C3PO.
So
go ahead.
what is the issue that you have with mid-range? Is it just that they get on the board more than you do, or?
Because I'm not playing multiple units. I either run out of a hand, so I don't have enough units, or they kill enough of my units, and I don't have it. I'll be honest. This probably needs an end game. Like we probably need some higher end end game in here to compete with mid range, and I think you could do that. Like, you don't need unveil mites. They're there just to keep your C3PO alive a little bit longer and to make him of value. Outside of the exhaust, but like you could drop unveiled mites. You could get rid of the bog down in procedures and move to like something, you know, like you could put some Plo Koons in here. You could put I don't know, like I really like, personally I like Depas. Depas is one of my favorite. You could put some Han Solos as well in there, like that. That's kind of thematic too if you want to put Han Solos in there. So I think you probably have to change this a little bit. Like the Han Solo pilot itself, I'm not super sold on all the time. Like, I love that card, but in this deck, like if I don't have a spaceship to put him on, like putting him on the ground for 5 is a little bit harder to get the value out of the ambush. But the biggest issue is if I cannot aggro them down fast enough, I lose the tempo to be able to win the mid game because they have better mid game stuff.
I wonder if Eye of Aldani out of aspect would be good in here, because that kind of fixes the problem. Either they're going to exhaust their units or they're not deploying to the board. And that kind of...
I don't think so. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I don't like that card very much anymore. Like, I genuinely just like that card's okay. But like in this version, like, yeah, so mid-range can't play another thing. But if they still have a board and I don't, I can't do anything about it. Like,
yeah, the reason why I say that is either they're going to exhaust their board or they can't deploy more stuff. And I was just thinking maybe that would be a good solution to like mid-range specifically for this one deck. I don't know. It was just an idea.
Yeah. Yeah, because I tried U-Ring reinforcement main board and I don't think that works either because you don't really pull anything that you need. So I think the difference is we have to cut down some of the earlier stuff and like either say, hey, we're going to get rid of some of these 1-drops and move to like a better end game. That's probably what it is. But as an aggro deck, this is actually a very fun aggro deck. Like, it's insanely silly, some of the stuff that you can do when C3PO's on the board.
Man, you are like so close to just being able to just easily run Boshek. But you know, that's
no,
just
I
me.
know. No, I just so you know, I thought 100% about Boshek. Like, what numbers do I need to change to be able to play Boshek?
Might probably the battlefield on the R2D2s, the yellow R2D2s.
Yeah, you're not too far off, really. I mean, the Leia.
Honestly, it's probably like 4 cards.
I can't cut.
I
don't know how Leia like activates everything. Just so you know, like brain, like Leia is the reason I want to play this deck is because of the Leia. She is a card I will miss when we do our what cards will we miss segment. Like when we talk about hero cards, she's a hero card that I play all the time.
Yeah, she's awesome.
But there's this deck. If anybody wants to take this and tweak it, you know, and send it back to me if you have success, I'd love, like, I have a C3PO showcase, kind of like Alex has a Slime War. I have the C3PO showcase. I would love to be able to put C3PO on the table all day long.
I have a C3PO showcase. I don't know.
I like C3PO. I like the droid stuff, you know. The Babu Frick is insanely hilarious if they don't take him off the board.
Never kill it.
Yeah. So, well, all right. Well, I think that's the list that we're going to cover for tonight. Like I said, we just wanted to give you guys some lists that, like, things that we've been playing around with that we think are fun to play with, to kind of, you know, say, hey, how do we break up some of this? I know you're going to be testing for PQs, but you got to be able to play some fun stuff every now and then. And while I would play Trench and Deidre Hard Control as my fun decks, my recommendation would be not to do that at your locals, because that might piss a lot of people off. So.
But they're so fun.
I say screw them if they can't take a joke.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people don't like to play against Hard Control.
Hey, man, that Trench deck really takes off after 12 resources.
Yeah. Deidre takes off a little bit quicker than that. Actually, I find that when I hit 12 resources, I usually have already won the game. So now it's just, are you going to let me win? Or are you going to make me actually play the game out? All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to wrap tonight's episode up. Thank you so much, Rain, for joining us tonight. Tell everybody real quick where they can find you and learn more about your content.
Mostly just on YouTube, Stone Rain Productions. I've been on there for a little over 2 months now, I believe, something like that. If you want to, I also have a separate YouTube channel. It's kind of off the topic, where I read horror stories in the public domain, and that's Stone Rain Reads. If you'd like to check that out. Yep.
So awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was fun to do kind of like a collab show. We need to get more guests on and do collab shows more often. That was my old podcast before I did Star Wars stuff. We used to do that a little bit more often. That's actually how we acquired Alex. We had Alex join us as a guest host a couple of times, and then he just never left. He just kind of stayed.
Sweet.
So that's what you got to do, Rain. You got to join the podcast for, every couple of months, join for a podcast or two. The next thing you know, you just be a new regular. We'll just have another guy on. So
that guy, here's the regular guy.
You officially you have the title of the longest beard officially right now, because usually Alex and I are in competition for who has the longest beard. So mine
earlier this year, my beard was here.
Oh man, I should have kept it.
Oh, my hair was down to like my hips too, but cut it all off. Donated it. Not the beard, but
can you donate a beard? That'd be actually that's hilarious.
You can if it gets to a certain length, yeah.
Yeah, my great uncle used to have a beard that would go all the way to the floor. Like, I don't know how long it took him to comb it and wash it every day, but he would literally roll it up, and he would have this like little rolled beard right here, and his was like very, very thin. Like mine's pretty thick. His was pretty thin, more kind of like what yours is, Rain. Like that's more where his beard, the length was only right there.
It's mostly because mine's white. You can see through it because I'm old.
He was very old too, but he had it. I don't think he cut his beard in like 25 years or something crazy like that. So I don't know how my great aunt put up with it, but it was funny. We talk about it as funeral. So, all right, enough about Tanner's relatives. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Rain, for a lovely episode. Make sure you guys check out his link in the description. We will be posting the link to both of his shows in the description for you to look at. With that being said, we will be back next week with another amazing episode of Planning Phase Syndicate. Thank you all. Have a good night, and we'll see you on the flippity flop.